Now we're starting today's ride from my owls. It's pretty desperate up here and desolate, but I've left the chunky tyres on, so we're doing another gravel ride, and I think this one's going to be a bit more extreme than a nice friendly greenway. There's definitely going to be some carrying hike-a-bike today. So let's crack on. It's about 60 kilometres today. I don't know if the camera can pick that up. Those really high cirrus clouds up there are, I think the ice crystals in them are refracting. Didn't want to spit all over the camera. Refracting light. We've got a beautiful rainbow coloured cloud. I've never seen it before in my life. Now, those that watch the GCN show and have seen Si Richardson's last ride, I bet you're thinking, is he actually watching Yakko Rides Again? Because he and his Orbea took a train and then rode home on gravel along a greenway. I'm thinking he's seen mine, that's just 2 weeks ago, he's seen it, he's copied it. Well, I'm going to copy him now, because what he did say is, if you're going to do a point-to-point ride, make sure you've got a howling tailwind behind you. Well, that's what I've got. I'm actually making this video a few days ahead of time, because this week my folks arrive, and I haven't seen them for a couple of years because of the crisis. But more to the point, we haven't really cleaned the house for about 2 years either. So I'm not going to have time for riding and video making later in the week, so I thought let's get it done now. So it will mean I'm absolutely unscripted. Not that I write the scripts, but you know what I mean. I like to know what I'm seeing. I haven't got a clue today. It's just going to be a massive adventure for me and for you. Red kite. Rare around here. Common as muck if you're in Reading. Just missed my turning. That's better. It's a very, very, very tiny sign. I'll show you it now. Here it is. And there's the sign. 22 kilometres of this. Oh, it's smoothed off for quite a bit, but it's now a bit muddy. Now it's rough again. I'm thinking helmet cam. And the trouble with using a helmet cam is that I never know whether it's on or off. It'd be nice to really charge along this road, but I'm a long way from home, and I've got a bit of a habit of breaking spokes. Not sure if the video is picking it up, but there's quite some of the stones are quite large, quite angular, and I'm actually finding it difficult to keep my hands on the hoods. They keep wanting to get thrown off. If anyone's got any comments on what you're supposed to do to stop your hands from coming off the bars, be grateful. Bugger. Bugger. If my breadcrumbs tell me I'm on the wrong road. Hey. No, it's the correct road. That'll be good. On all. It's just got a bit smoother as well, hasn't it? Certainly feel I can go a bit quicker. It's not very quick. 22. and it's downhill. Now, I was out this way, not on this road, but I was out this way probably a year or so ago, and I was cycling along a very rough track on my mountain bike, and I was continually overtaken by, I can only describe them as X-Files articulated trucks. They were massive and black and looked very, very sinister, and they were all coming to that place, which doesn't look very exciting at all. But it was so strange. I've noticed now they've put in a new road to this place, and they're still building it. I don't know if you can see those construction vehicles all the way back there. But all of that work, you can see that's quite an extensive road they're digging into the hillside there, is just to come to this place. And the reason why I found it rather suspicious is that when I looked on the map there was nothing, and when I looked at old maps it said there were mines there. Now, my vote is that they're dumping toxic waste down the mine. Or they've got aliens down there, of course. It could be either. Well, that's the first section of gravel done. Bloody hard on the thumbs. And now we're on the X-Files truck road. So I'm hoping we'll actually see one, which would be pretty cool. Road where I think if you were on normal tyres you'd be cursing, because it's just going from gravel to tarmac to gravel to tarmac. It's such a great road. It's just twisty turny and it's gravelly enough to be interesting. It's got lovely views, and I think the only ones who use it are the guys dumping the nuclear waste. Well, it's downhill, so who cares? Now off the X-Files road, and we're now onto the Camino GR99. Which is a long distance footpath which follows the entire length of the River Ebro top to bottom, which I've done about 550 kilometres of in one sitting quite a few years ago now, and in my prime. Downside to this road is that it floods, and I'm just looking in the river and it's up very, very high. So hello. It could be a really, really long dead end. I'm gonna have to come all the way back up here and go back on the main road, which would be a real shame. But fingers crossed, eh, everyone? So picturesque. I haven't been here for years. I was always on my mountain bike, of course, but it looks as though having the some people living along here, they might have actually improved the road, because we're still sticking with mostly tarmac. Rock falls along here, but they've been cleared. Nice crash barrier too. Back on gravel and mud. This whole area on the left bank of the Ebro is called the Sebes Natural Park, and it's a huge reed bed, and it's home to all sorts of unusual creatures. But it does include some Camargue horses. Oh, hello. Oh, that's not so nice. Wish I had flat pedals on. I've got through that section. I should have recorded it on the helmet cam because it was quite interesting. Mud, deep mud, but it just would have been me swearing and screaming a lot, so it's probably best not. Hopefully now we're joining this track, which as you can see is quite a thoroughfare, and it should be a lot easier from now on. It's a hide. I can't resist a good hide. I suppose fluoro orange isn't the best choice of colour in a hide. That down there is a little grebe. Just dive down. It should pop up again soon. There it is. What a beauty. Everything's going to be too far away, but I'm not entirely sure, but it looked like a snipe just poked its head up above the that island in the middle there. Nah, won't be able to tell, will we? The only thing we can really see is this tiny little grebe. Now in there are 5 at least, white storks. This is the house of the storks, and they have lots of nesting poles here for them, and I guess these are being rehabilitated. Hello. Beautiful birds. Just in the background, some large bird of prey, not too sure what. I'm sure I've said this before, but I'm absolutely loving these videoed rides because I'm just treating them as an adventure. There's no speed necessary, no numbers. I can do that other days. On the days that I do a video, it is literally just an adventure. I love it. It's full of fish and frogs and all sorts of goodies for all the wading birds, etc. that come and hunt here. An education centre that talks about the park and the animals and birds therein. They do talks and things there as well as just all the sorts of visual displays. And there's another hide there too. It's the Camargue horses, and they're hidden by the reeds. Can you see them? Nay. About knee deep in water. That's what they're designed for. That's what the Camargue is like. That's in the south of France, if you're wondering. I can understand now why Sebez wasn't flooded. They've got all of the gates open on the hydro dam here in Flèche. It's usually a trickle that comes through here. I'm now blithely cycling towards the next gravel section, which goes around a beautiful meander of the River Ebro, and I've just realised, put together, that with that amount of water coming down this way around the meander, which is unusual, the path is going to be flooded without a doubt, because it's always close to the river, even when it's 2, 3, 4 metres lower than it is now. And you can see actually it's broken the banks on the far side, so we're going to have a bit of a rethink and go a different direction. Didn't really have a lot of options, so I'm back on the main road for about 5 kilometres, and then we can get back off it again. Just remembered that I could take the old Flèche road, which is deteriorating, so You know, it's bits of gravel here and there, look, there's a bit. You may think that I've stopped to show you this beautiful view of Ebro and La Torre d'Espanyol, but no, it's to show you this Civil War pillbox which protected this flank of the Ebro. Now, in Britain this would stink of wee. Can't see much, can you? I'd rather be up on top. Anyway, there you go. It's a Civil War done and dusted for this week. Remember this bit being paved either. Anyway, right next to the railway line. Didn't want you to be too disappointed at the lack of gravel. There's a load more now. Never fear. Now, because I promised you that I wouldn't mention that again, I'll just show you that bullet-riddled building and not tell you when it happened. I mean, it's getting on a bit. Beautiful. You're wondering how we're going to get over those mountains dead ahead of us. Well, I've told you a couple of times. I've got to carry the bike over it. Honest. That's the level of the river. That's how far it's come up. I've got a bit of a bad feeling about this. So yes, I am pushing. And yes, that really is as steep as it looks. I don't know. I don't know if the Garmin will register it because I'm walking so slowly, but what's that, 1 in 3? 33%. Believe me, this is the easy bit. The hard bit's yet to come. Things I do to make a good film for you lot. Hope you appreciate it. I'm not going to be able to ride that either. I've just lost one of my cleat covers, so I'm going to be scrambling up those rocks in my cleats carrying a bike. Maybe I could have thought through this better. Put some flat pedals on and some normal shoes next time. Bit rosy tinted glasses, I think. I've only ever come the other way. Always been on my mountain bike, and I've always sort of thought that I could ride most of it. Well, downhill, sure. Uphill, in cleats, not a chance. I suppose you should never say never. Lost both cleat covers now. And there's still a very real possibility that the road at the far end of this bloody nightmare is going to be flooded. Now I'm just going to have to wade through it because there's no way I can carry this lot back again. It's too steep, too slippery in cleats, and extremely unpleasant, and it's getting dark. Yeah, that's a 1 in 1. Cleats clipping in. It's never sounded so sweet. Oh. And now it's gravel all the way home. Goodness, those rocks, wow. The hardest thing I've done in the last few years. Nice to know I could, I suppose. back in the nick of time. Just seeing the last of the night. It's a good ride. It was a hard hike. I'll be doing it again. So thanks for watching. I just had to add in an extra couple of kilometres because as of tomorrow I would have had the Orbea for 2 months and I needed today's ride to be 58.1 kilometres, so that I've done 2,000 kilometres in those 2 months. Well, I've done 200 metres too much. Oh. So the next film is going to be a review of the Orbea D10 and what it's like for the larger rider.